हेलो, गुड मॉर्निंग। अरे गुड मॉर्निंग बोल रहा हूँ भाई। हाँ हाँ, क्या गुड मॉर्निंग। लेट अस गो अहेड। वी आर डूइंग a chapter called we are doing a chapter called exempt income, incomes on which government does not want tax from you. Correct or no? In your syllabus you have to study only section 10, multiple clauses of section 10. Section 10 का biggest clause, that is 10(1), exemption granted to agriculture income is done. हो गया? बोलो। You want to talk to each other for 2 minutes? कर लो। Do you realize I am talking? So your focus should be only on what I am talking. We are also done with 10(2), 10(2)(a), 10(4), 10(6) is going on. 10(6) का exemption is an exemption for non-citizens, people who are foreign nationals, people who are citizens of other country will be eligible for exemption here. There are multiple sub clauses here, so we will focus only on those clauses which are relevant for your exam. We are done with the first one, employees of embassies. हाँ, पहला वाला रिवाइज कर। Embassy employees का salary will be exempt if they fulfill two conditions. Condition 1, not engaged in any other trade or profession, and condition 2, that government also exempts salary of Indian embassy employees. Correct है? Second also we did, कौन सा वाला? Employee of any foreign enterprise. Any enterprise, it can be enterprise in the form of a proprietorship, partnership firm, LLP, company, trust, AOP, any organization का employee coming for working in India. What were the two conditions for exemption here? Stay in India does not exceed, so less than or equal to both, okay. And second, the employer organization is not engaged in any other trade or profession. So one question arise होता है that if employer is not engaged in any other trade or profession, then what is the employee doing here? Research, training, etc. Correct है? Now let's go ahead. So we are still in section 10(6). इसका third part we will now be doing. मैं बोला ना 10(6)(c) is what we will start today's class with. This tax exemption is for non-resident. Now residential status does not depend on citizenship or nationality. Residential status will depend on number of days spent. Correct or no? In the previous two exemptions of 10(6), you had to be a non-citizen, but you can be a resident. In fact, the first guy was certainly a resident because embassy employee full year is going to stay here. But this guy has to be non-resident, and plus obviously whether you write this non-citizen as a part of this point C or no, in the heading itself we have said that it has to be a non-citizen. So the first two exemptions were only non-citizens, but this is non-citizen as well as non-resident. You are a non-resident who is crew member of a foreign ship. A non-resident who is crew member of a foreign ship. Shipping business. So foreign shipping company, that ship is coming to India for loading, unloading of goods, and there are employees on board. So there will be some time that they will spend in India, and even for that time there is going to be some salary that they will be paid. Now do you understand the time that they are spending in India? At that time salary is arising in India. Is that Indian income? If 10 days के लिए ship has come in India, so your work done is where? Those who have forgotten, what is Indian income? Either work done in India or money received in India. Any one of the two activities takes place in India, so the income will be called Indian income. During those 10, 15, 20 days, whatever time the ship stayed here, is your work done in India, and therefore the salary is arising in India. As per scope of total income, that salary is taxable, even if you are a non-resident, because the income is arising in India. But if your stay in India does not exceed 90 days, so the salary for that period is going to be exempt. So this is somewhat similar to employees of foreign enterprises. Just the extra thing is that in the employee of foreign enterprises, there is a condition that the employer organization is not engaged in any trade or profession. But if it is a shipping company which is sending its ships here, so obviously they are going to be engaged in some trade or profession. So for shipping, foreign shipping companies, we are changing the rule and keeping only one condition: the stay in India should not exceed a period of 90 days. So normal foreign enterprises ka employees ke liye there are two conditions. What are the two conditions? Condition 1, stay does not exceed 90 days, and condition 2, employer organization is not engaged in any trade or profession in India. But for shipping company ka employees, the condition is going to change. Only one condition, that is stay in India does not exceed 90 days. So the salary during those 90 days, it can be up to a maximum of 90 days. During that period, are you in India? Is that salary arising in India? It is taxable as per scope of total income, but we are exempting that salary because your stay does not exceed 90 days. Samjha? Easy. And the last case here in section 10(6), tax exemption to non-citizens, foreign nationals. Last case under 10(6). If you are employee of foreign government and you have come to India for training, the point 2 which we studied, they were employees who are in India for training purposes. Hello? But they were employees of any random foreign enterprise. Correct? These are government employees who have come to India for training purposes. And who is giving that training? Foreign government ka employees are going to come and take training from government here in India. It can be training given by central government, state government, or local authority. Matlab municipal corporation also is government in its own place. Now, when I will give you an example, you will better understand. So this message is those who are taking down class notes. Do not just randomly copy what I am writing, because whatever I am writing, it is on record. One way or the other, this will reach you. If at all you are keen on taking class notes, what you should do is, the example which I now give you, short में, पूरा story नहीं, short में. Full story I am also not going to tell you because you all don't like that. Short में I am going to tell you what is this. Okay. India conducted COVID vaccination. That was local authority. Municipal corporation का schools में, hospitals में COVID vaccination to 1.5 billion people. It's a big achievement in such a short span of time. But how did you do this? How did you successfully manage such a big vaccination program in such a short time? Now that foreign government wants to train its employees for doing that, so they are sending their employees to take training from government of India. It can be central government, state government, or local authority. So long story short, for what purpose are they sending their employees? So if at all you are taking down class notes, every time I give you an example, as a short में you will have to write this. This is going to serve a bigger purpose rather than blindly only copying what I am writing. Because what I am writing will come to you one way or the other. Explanation करते वक्त the example that I give you, that is going to be more important. ये clear? So foreign government का employees are coming to take training from government. They can also take training from government company or training from subsidiary of government company. You all know about holding subsidiary? whenever one company is holding more than 50% ownership in another company. So either government company or subsidiary of government company, you are going to take training from any statutory corporation. You all know what are statutory corporations? Organization established under an act. For example, ICAI, matlab foreign government is sending its employees to learn accounting and taxation from ICAI. Possible hai? So during that period, the employees will be here for training, or last organization that is going to give the training. So you understand, these organizations are going to give the training to those foreign government employees. Last is training from cooperative society. So by chance, yesterday we did that example of Dabbawalas. If foreign government only wants to start that service, so they are sending their employees to take training from the Mumbai Dabbawala Association. So now understand, are these employees coming to India during the training period? And even if it is training period, one thing you should know about the corporate world, at the beginning of your job, they are going to train you for a couple of months. But even if it is your training phase, you are going to be paid salary for it. It is like an investment that the company is making on you, and therefore they take a bond, a contract that you will not leave us for at least 2 years because we are spending money on it. So, ये training period में are the employees physically present in India? Yes. Is the salary arising in India? That salary is going to be exempt. Because they are government employees, either कोई number of days का restriction etc. is not there. आप समझा? For private sector employees, they give restriction of 90 days. Employer organization not engage in any trade or profession. But for government employees who are in India for the purpose of training, mind you, who is giving the training? Only these organizations. If they come to take training from any of our class ka teachers or from our organization, that is not going to result in an exempt salary. That salary is going to be taxable. Exemption is only if the training is given by any one of these organizations. समझ में आया? That was your 10(6), that is tax exemption for non-citizens. Let's go ahead. Next, section 10, clause 10 BC.
Government employee computed for training and section 10 visa condition, 10(6) visa condition. And they will exempt.
From whom?
On a salary. For training they come, but no private body like a teacher from India.
Acha, that way. For government employees, have we given a separate clause?
Yeah.
So whenever a specific rule is applicable, then the general rule is not going to be applicable. Same wo crew member ke liye. So if it is a crew member of a foreign ship, have we given a separate clause? If a separate clause is given, then the general rule will not apply. So anybody falling in point D or C will not fall in point B. Samjha? Section 10, clause 10 BC. Now first of all, please understand. Abhi 10(6) se we have taken a direct jump to 10 BC. There is 10(7), but that we will study in salary ka chapter. In fact, I don't know whether I should discuss this with you. There is a section 10(10). There is a section 10(10)(a), 10(AA). You know that these clauses are different from each other. They are not the same. 10 and 10(AA) are as different as 10 and 11. So 10(10)(a) is a clause between section 10(10) and 10(11). Do you understand that? So some of these clauses are directly related to your income from salary, exemption from gratuity, pension, etc. So that will be taught in the chapter income from salary. Here we will discuss only the ones which are not covered anywhere else. Section 10(10) BC. If you have received compensation from central government or state government due to a natural or man-made disaster, the compensation so received is going to be fully exempt. Compensation received from central government or state government due to a natural or man-made disaster is going to be fully exempt. Again, now see, I am giving you the examples. And you have to understand that blindly taking down what I am speaking is not going to help you. What will help you is the example that I give you. So for example, there is a train accident and government, sometimes central government, sometimes state government, they announce compensation for the victims. People who are normally injured a certain amount, severely injured a higher amount, people who have dead, people who are dead, their family members will get a higher compensation. The compensation so received is going to be fully exempt. And train accident is an example. So now whether it is loss of life and property in an earthquake, loss of life and property during riots, war, enemy action, those who live in border areas are a target every time there is enemy action. So enemy ka bullets is not going to ask whether you are a civilian or a military person. Once they fire, it is going to come and hit you. There will be loss of life, there will be loss of property. You understand natural and man-made disasters with these examples. And we often come across news reports where government is giving compensation. The compensation so given is going to be fully exempt. On one hand, we are giving compensation on the grounds of humanity. On the other hand, we cannot levy tax on them. And therefore, the compensation so received is going to be fully exempt. Clear hai? It can be, if you want to mention, loss of life or property, both. Compensation can be for any purpose, loss of life or loss of property. Section 1010D. So we have lots and lots of clauses in section 10. That compensation was not given by government.
So PM cares for this.
PM cares fund matlab wo that is under the control of central government only. So एक minute, let me come to you one by one. Air India plane crash, the compensation was given by Air India. It was not given by government. हाँ, but compensation का exemption is only in these cases. समझा? Okay. As far as PM cares में से given compensation is concerned, it is basically controlled by the government. Decisions are taken by the government. It is as good as compensation given by the government. Bhopal gas tragedy के लिए there is a separate clause given here, but then that took place in the 80s. So whoever got their compensation at that time. They got their compensation and they got the exemption also because a separate clause is provided, not in this, separate provided. But today's date and time, it is absolutely irrelevant. Think about it. You know, who is getting compensation today for the 1984 tragedy? Bhopal gas tragedy के लिए specifically there is a separate clause, specifically stating victims of Bhopal gas tragedy getting any compensation is going to be exempt. But वो उस time पे खत्म. So you understand today it is absolutely irrelevant. We are not even going to discuss that clause. If you understand why? Because अभी वो relevant नहीं. Okay. So this is only talking about compensation given by central government and state. Is that clear? Sure. Section 1010D, it is slightly big, almost as big as your agriculture wala part. Any payment that you have received from life insurance company, any payment received from life insurance company. I strongly believe you guys are aware of at least what is the concept of life insurance. We pay premiums and buy the policy, and the event taking place will result in a claim received by the policy holder. Life insurance companies pay us compensation on two occasions. First, on the occasion of death. Ultimately, we are insuring someone's life. So death compensation hoga. But then during the policy tenure, dying is not compulsory. You will also get maturity compensation when your policy will obviously mature. Now it also depends on what insurance product you purchase. Because insurance companies have become very, very innovative of late. Every day pay this much, after these many years we'll give you this much. They have, they have so many innovative products. There is a product called term insurance. I don't know whether you are again aware of that. Let me give you a small idea about it. Term insurance में The premium is lower than normal policies, but money will be given only if you die. So there is nothing called maturity compensation. Absolutely no maturity compensation. But the good part is they give coverage till a very good age. So for example, at the age of 30, I took a term insurance policy. They said you have to pay till you turn 60. So that means I have to pay premium for 30 years. And we will cover you till the age of 85. Matlab last 25 years you don't have to pay also anything. If by chance I don't die till the age of 85, all the premium paid during the 30 years is a total waste because there is no maturity compensation. There is only and only death compensation. So sirf ye hoga na, then this will not come on. But then there are other policies where premium is higher. They are expensive policies. They will give you money if you die. Obviously, nominee, which is the immediate family member, it is generally the spouse. And by chance, if you don't die during the policy tenure, they will also give you compensation on maturity. Because they are giving you double benefit, obviously the premium is going to be higher. We are not learning tax treatment of premium right now. You need to understand premium is what we pay. There is some tax benefit of the premium also, but that is chapter 6A deductions. Here we are talking about the money that we receive, and this is basically the insurance claim, which will come on two occasions. Kaun sa two occasions? Death and maturity. Term insurance may only death compensation, but other policies may you can have death as well as maturity. So that big lump sum, massive amount that we have received, what is the tax treatment? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big piece of news for you. Income tax knowledge as well as general knowledge. Whenever a person dies and the nominee, the immediate family member, receives life insurance compensation, it is going to be fully exempt under section 10(10)(d) without any condition, without any restriction. Life insurance में death का compensation is fully exempt, blanket exemption. In fact, when the insured person dies, you just have to submit your claim form. There are certain documents, obviously. Claim form mein you have to give details about the death. Death certificate ka copy has to be attached. You have to give nominee ka PAN, Aadhaar, etc. You have to give a cancelled check ka copy, nominee ke account ka, because in that all the accounts detail will be mentioned so that they can do the RTGS in that account. Submitted within 7 days, 10 days. Most insurance companies, they are under IRDA regulations. They will transfer money. In fact, they send a letter at home. We regret the death of Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. As the above person was insured, the amount of rupees dash has been transferred in your bank account number dash, maintained with dash bank in dash branch. Kindly preserve this letter for income tax purposes. Why this last line? Because this is a big amount that has come in your bank account. You will always have a question from your assessing officer. What is this amount? You saying verbally, sir, this is life insurance compensation is not enough. You need some documentary evidence. Audit padha hai little bit. You need documentary evidence. Little bit. So how will you prove that this is life insurance compensation? The last line. Kindly preserve this letter for income tax purposes. Samjha? Death mein mila hua compensation always fully exempt. But then, as we discussed, dying during the policy tenure is not compulsory. At least the non-term insurance policies are going to give you maturity benefit as well. Maturity ka compensation is also going to be fully exempt under the same section 10(10)(d). But last mein ye word add, if matlab condition, means death cases, no condition, the compensation is going to be, come on, fully exempt without any condition. Maturity cases also you will get full exemption, but only and only if you fulfill the condition. So suno, supposingly condition is fulfilled, death money exempt, maturity money. पूरा लैपटॉप मिल रहा है, थोड़ा हिलना मत करो. It is like camera shake कर रहा है. If you fulfill the conditions, death cases fully exempt. Maturity cases, fully exempt. Supposingly you dissatisfy the condition here, so death money still exempt. क्योंकि death में there is no condition. You understand? Only the maturity का money that you receive is going to be taxable. Correct? Now what do you want to know? What is the condition? देखो, without the condition we can't go ahead. समझा क्या नहीं? Stay within your limits. This is a statement that we will make for the premium of the policy. If the premium is within the limits prescribed by law. What's scared, bro? I never talk to anyone. Never. Irrespective of how you talk to me or what you speak about me, I will never talk, especially students के साथ तो never. Okay? मस्ती. But डरा ना एक second. It's okay. Sorry, huh? If you stay within your limit, premium. The premium that you are paying on this policy has to be within the limit that we are giving. If the premium is within limit, death, maturity both exempt. If the premium that you have paid is more than the limit, death cases will still be exempt, but maturity ka mila hua money is going to be taxable. Correct? What is that limit? This will depend on, this is slightly complicated, but you guys are intelligent enough to catch it. Fatafat. This will depend on the date of issue of your policy. When did you buy this policy first time from the insurance company? Or let me put it this way, when did you pay your first premium? We are not interested in the current year 25-26. 25-26 is an exam year. Compensation will be received in this year. We are not interested in this year. We are interested in when did I pay my first premium? When did I buy this policy from the insurance company? See, the agents will continuously force you to buy the policy. One fine day you give in. You said, "ठीक है, चल, give me one policy," and you pay your first premium. We will check that day. The premium ka limit does not depend on the present date. It depends on the date when we started our policy. Are you following? If the policy was taken up to 31st March 2012, that is previous year 11-12, if you understand. So there was a limit on the premium. The premium can be maximum 20% of your sum assured. Sum assured can also be called policy value. Maximum premium should be 20% of your sum assured for all policies taken till which financial year? 11-12. Obviously, future ka policies mein amount is going to change. So that will be my point B. But focus on what is the rule. Do you know what is sum assured? What is policy value? Yeah? Kya? हाँ. So if your Guju friend is telling you that मारी 5 लाख नहीं LIC छे, first of all, LIC is not a company with net worth of 5 lakh. And secondly, LIC does not belong to you. कि मारी 5 लाख नहीं LIC छे means what? That means that guy has purchased a life insurance policy where in the event of death or maturity, you will be eligible for that fixed guaranteed amount of 5 lakh. You have purchased a policy of what amount? That is your choice. No? Higher the amount, higher the premium. Your choice. What is your budget? How much premium you are willing to pay? So if the sum assured is 5 lakh, the maximum premium you can pay is 1 lakh. Maximum 1 lakh kaise hai? 20%. So supposingly you have paid 90,000 ka premium. Is that within the limit? Death, maturity both exempt. Supposingly you pay 1 lakh and 5,000. Is that more than the limit? Death cases still exempt, but maturity cases, the money so received is going to be taxable. Samjha? So till 11-12, the premium ka percentage limit was 20%. But this is very high, you understand? The 5 years ke andar to I am paying almost the amount of my policy. Which is why in the budget of 2012, Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee sir, who later also became President of India, he said, from today onwards, that is, now you understand, till 31st March 2012 is the cutoff date. That means 12-13 onwards, I hereby reduce the maximum limit from 20% to 10%. So any new policy taken 12-13 onwards, any new policy taken by you and me today, the limit on premium is going to be 10%. Let me complete this. Okay, this is good for us. मैं समझाता हूँ. Now if you take a new policy of 5 lakhs, the maximum premium that you can pay is 50,000. So if I pay 45, death maturity both exempt. But if I pay 55, come on, death money will be exempt, maturity money will be taxable. ये clear है? Now sir, when the premium का limit was reduced, is it good or bad for us? Suno, if the premium का limit is reduced and the insurance company is still charging 95,000, I will not buy that policy because I know that it is against my tax benefit. So I will clearly tell the insurance company, reduce your premium. Nahi to I am not buying. And in competition, there will definitely be some other insurance company who is ready to charge a lower amount. And if one of them reduces, then everyone has to reduce. Competition can make you do anything. Anything. Fact. So once one company will reduce the premium, all companies will reduce premiums. So as policy holders, it is actually a benefit for us. We have to pay a lower amount and still be eligible for our tax benefit. Samjha? But this rule changed from which year? 12-13. Sir, it's been 13 years now. Yes, subah this professor has lost his brain. Kya bola? 13 years ago ka limit. Do we have to study? Is it relevant now? Is it relevant now? Yes. Yes. Because it is possible that you took a policy in 10-11 and uska maturity ka money you are getting now. So the policy was taken when is the date that will decide the limit on the premium, not today's date. Samjha? Is your doubt this case, sir? So 10-11 ka policy ka every year I am paying premium, so the premium only has exceeded the policy ka value. Nahi? अगर नहीं सब कंपनी ने कर ही दिया. So for all practical purposes, all companies are 10% is also very high. Companies generally charge 1, 2, 3, 5% more than उससे ज़्यादा charge ही नहीं करते. Followed? Okay? हाँ. So from 12-13 onwards, the limit is reduced to 10%. Renew means every year you are paying. That happens in medical insurance policies. Life insurance policy, what is the case of it? देखो, if you've taken a 5-year का policy, you pay premium for those years. Once that date comes, it is not renewal. Pehle I will take my maturity money. Now whether to take another policy or no is a choice. Medical insurance में we have to renew it every year. And at the time of renewal, we have the option कि वो amount को increase करना है का because private hospital costs are increasing on a day-to-day basis. So at that time, we can decide to increase premium and take a higher amount. Samjha? Okay. So first question, is this 20% ka limit still relevant? Q? Because policy taken earlier, you have to check the date of issue of policy. You don't have to check today's date. But from 12-13 onwards, the limit is 10%. Was this limit substantially reduced? 50% हो गया. Competition में insurance companies had to reduce their premium. We were happy because we are paying lower premium, but insurance companies started suffering losses. Because with lower premium also, they have to commit to you the same amount. So they requested Pranav Mukherjee sir to reconsider his decision. Sir, please don't do this. But his tenure as finance minister was known to be a very, very stubborn tenure. Once he has decided something, he will not go back on it. After multiple requests also, he did not change this. Finally, insurance companies gave their next best option. Bola, sir, theek hai, you want to keep it 10, keep it 10. But at least understand, some policy holders are disabled, handicapped, physical or mental. You should know this, that someone who is physically or mentally handicapped or disabled, their life expectancy is lower. So they are going to die sooner than others. That means the insurance company ka liability will come earlier. Think about it. Policy holder has died earlier because disabled. Disabled का life expectancy कम होता है. Is that aware? Are you aware of that? So liability to pay will come earlier than others. At least for these cases, allow us to charge a higher amount. And In the very next budget, Pranab Mukherjee sir ने तो नहीं किया, but he was removed as finance minister at that time and made president. And there was another gentleman called Mr. P. Chidambaram who became the finance minister at that time. On or after 1st April 2013, if you are taking a policy for someone who is disabled or handicapped, we will increase the limit to maximum 15% of sum assured. So now this is going to create some level of confusion. The limit was increased again from 10 to 15 only if the policy holder is disabled, handicapped. Matlab, let's be clear, for normal people like you guys, without any physical or mental disability. By the way, if you point at your friend कि नहीं sir इसको है sir, without reason laughs in the middle of the class, that is still not going to make you eligible, because even if your friends think that about you, to get disability benefit you need certificate. So only if you are a certified disabled you will be eligible. I am not pointing at anyone, मैं ऐसे जनरल बात कर रहा हूँ. Only if you are a certified disabled. So no, मतलब normal people like you guys, you understand there are only two limits. Till 11-12 the applicable limit was, and from 12-13 the applicable limit is 15 is not going to come to UN. Is that clear? But for people who are certified disabled, till 11-12 their limit was also 20 only. 20. For that one particular financial year where Mukherjee sir made the change, it is 10 for everyone, normal people as well as disabled. And from 13-14 onwards, normal people will remain in the limit of 10% and disabled ka limit will change from 10 to 15. It is policy taken in that year. So ho sakta disabled has taken policy in 12-13 and that policy is still going on today. So that limit is going to be 10% only. From 13-14 it is 10 and 15 for normal and disabled respectively. So let's be clear, till 11-12 the limit is going to be normal ke liye 20 and disabled also 20. Only in that one financial year, that is 12-13, the limit was 10% for normal ke disabled both. And from 13-14 onwards, normal people, you and me, even today, 10%. But for disabled, 15% is the percentage limit on premium. If your premium is within the limit, death, maturity both exempt. If your premium is more than the limit, death will still be exempt, maturity will be taxable. Is that clear? In fact, these limits you learn correctly and properly, because when life insurance ka premium we pay and we get chapter 6A deduction of that premium, which we will learn after GTL. For that premium ka deduction also these same limits are applicable. If policy taken till 11-12, you will get maximum 20% deduction. Policy taken in 12-13, you will get maximum 10% deduction. And policy taken in 13-14 onwards, normal people 10% and disabled 15%. And you guys are so intelligent that after 4 months also you remember everything from residential status and scope of total income. Now we are not going to have any gap. I am going to ruin all your mornings till I complete your syllabus. So abhi to deductions ka chapter will come when it has to, but same limits will be applicable. If you remember things after 4 months, so in 1 month you will definitely not forget this. Itna to confidence now I have on you. Okay, so suno, the same premium ka limit applicable for exemption of your maturity money is also the limit applicable for deduction of your premium. Is that clear? But in this whole chaos, did you observe that death case is unaffected? Whether premium is more than limit, beyond limit, doesn't matter at all. Correct? Eh? ULIP ke liye there is another thing coming up. Or kuch? No? Is that clear? Basic, array 10 is not over, ये बहुत बड़ा section है. But till now, are you clear? Chalo. Now suddenly, in the budget of 2021, our respected honorable finance minister observed something. which you guys have probably not. If my premium is within the percentage limit, am I eligible for exemption? The whole idea behind giving life insurance exemption was that, small middle class families, they will survive on that life insurance money if the sole earning person has passed away. So let's not take tax from them. But it was observed that people who have high budgets, who can afford big amounts of premium, are buying very, very expensive policies of huge values and paying premium because they have the budget. That premium is within the percentage limit because insurance companies had to keep it within that limit and taking tax exemption of massive amount. Let's take two examples. Example 1, a person has got life insurance policy of 10 lakhs. What is the maximum premium allowed today? Today's date, new policy, and let's talk about normal people. We know handicapped ka limit is 15%, but normal people ke liye 1 lakh will be the limit, 10%, correct? If you get this 10 lakh, you will be able to use it for your family. But let's talk about someone else who has life insurance policy with sum assured of 100 crore rupees. 100 crore ka life insurance. वो तो family members are waiting. अरे जल्दी करो ना. What is the premium ka limit? Normal person. Rupees. 10 crore. And that guy is paying annually 10 crore. They can afford. See, if you have annual income of 50, 70, 80 crore, so you can afford 10 crore ka premium. Is that within the percentage limit? If you pay 10 crore, is that within percentage limit? But do you think or do you agree that it is a very, very big amount of insurance? The Honorable Finance Minister says that it is observed that people are buying very, very expensive policies and paying high amounts of premium and still taking the tax benefit because the premium being very high is still within the percentage limit. That is not the intention of the law. So I hereby propose, on or after 1st February 21, this was the budget date. If you have taken a policy called ULIP, ULIP का full form is Unit Linked Insurance Plan. This policy is basically a combination of insurance and investment. पता है आपको इसके बारे में? How? 12th में ULIP था. You were taught ULIP in class 12. No wonder you are so intelligent. खाली definition था. वो भी याद नहीं सर. I will pay premium to my short. I'll keep it simple for you. I will pay premium to the insurance company. With my money, they will buy equity shares. Listen carefully. With my money, they will buy equity shares. If they make massive money in equity shares, today insurance companies are the biggest investors of the equity markets. So they will give me returns, that is maturity money, in proportion of the profits that they have. So higher the profits, more money I will get on maturity. But then there is a counter question to this. Sir, what if in that equity investment they have suffered loss? But we will still give you a fixed guaranteed amount. Matlab there is a minimum guarantee plus extra amount if there is profit. This is as good as investment in equity shares by reducing your risk. This is as good as an equity oriented mutual fund where you are giving money to that organization, they are buying equity shares on your behalf and giving you returns in proportion of profits made. But this ULIP ka amendment which came in 2021 is not in CA Inter ka syllabus. Short mein I will tell you, auntie matlab Honorable Finance Minister, auntie said that till now there is only percentage limit on premium. Now I bring another limit, that is rupees wala limit on the premium, which will automatically target high premium paying people. So if it is ULIP, your annual premium should be maximum. I am not going into the detail of this. 2,50,000 rupees में. So now understand, वो जो 10 crore का premium someone is paying now, it is possibly within the percentage का limit, but it is crossing this limit. So now the money that you receive is going to be taxable. But this you can please ignore because this will come in.
What about
नो क्लेम बोनस मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस में आता है ब्रो, व्हीकल इंश्योरेंस में आता है, क्या बात कर रहे हो? नो क्लेम बोनस मतलब मरने के बाद में तो क्लेम हो गया, देन हाउ इज द पॉलिसी कंटिन्यूइंग? क्लेम कर लिया मतलब दैट पॉलिसी इज ओवर, नो? सो एवरी ईयर इट इज गोइंग टू बी नो क्लेम ओनली। एक ही बार मरना होता है, अंडरटेकर है क्या? नहीं नहीं, सी अंडरस्टैंड, एवरी ईयर वी पे प्रीमियम। व्हीकल इंश्योरेंस में क्या होता है, पॉलिसी का टेन्योर इज ओनली 1 ईयर। मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस में क्या होता है, पॉलिसी का टेन्योर इज ओनली 1 ईयर। सो ड्यूरिंग दैट 1 ईयर इफ वी मेक नो क्लेम, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर कंपनी गिव्स अस अ डिस्काउंट इन द प्रीमियम। लाइफ इंश्योरेंस में थोड़ी नो क्लेम बोनस होता है, ओके? क्या लगेगा? हाँ, when it will mature at that time, वो भी अगर प्रीमियम इज मोर देन द लिमिट, इफ प्रीमियम इज मोर देन द लिमिट इट विल बी टैक्सेबल, हाँ, it will be exempt. But as I said, ULIP का टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट अंडर कैपिटल गेन्स इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ इंटर का सिलेबस। आप रुपीस वाले प्रीमियम की बात कर रहे हो? सी, दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट वी शुड कंज्यूम अवर टाइम ऑन। आपके लिए जो रेलेवेंट है, देयर इज वन मोर अमेंडमेंट व्हिच वाज ब्रॉट बाय ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर। उस अमेंडमेंट में आई विल डिस्कस योर क्वेश्चन। नाउ मैम रियलाइज दैट रुपीस की लिमिट भी लगा सकते हैं, परसेंटेज लिमिट वाज ऑलरेडी देयर हिस्टोरिकली डन, पहले 20 देन 10 एंड देन फॉर हैंडीकैप 15। नाउ शी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन 2021 रुपीस वाला लिमिट। व्हाट इज द मॉनेटरी लिमिट शी केप्ट? 2,50,000, but then in this the only target was ULIP policies, means those companies which are investing your money in equity shares. Your normal insurance policies were not covered here. Do you understand? So she realized that I can extend this provision to all other policies also, and this is covered in your syllabus. So here also there is a limit on premium in rupee terms. There I will discuss your doubt. सर वन पॉलिसी पे लिमिट है, मल्टीपल पॉलिसी पे लिमिट है। इफ यू ऑब्जर्व केयरफुली, दिस इज एनुअल लिमिट, दैट वे समवेयर द आंसर इज गिवन हियर इटसेल्फ, बट आई विल डिस्कस विद न्यूमेरिकल एग्जांपल्स। इन द बजट ऑफ 2023 वन मोर अमेंडमेंट came. Now if your policy is a non ULIP policy, sir why this amendment will apply only to non ULIP? Because ULIP के लिए already we have brought a monetary limit. Non ULIP, and you should also know whether they mention or they don't mention, it has to be non-term. Because one thing you should know, कि term insurance में, I also discussed with you, term insurance में there is nothing called maturity benefit. Term insurance में we only have death benefit. In fact, somewhere in all the discussion that we are doing, did you observe that everything we are writing here is under maturity? In case there is any confusion, whether the premium is crossing the percentage limit or the premium is crossing the rupees limit, both cases are immune from any kind of tax on insurance money. So all the discussion is restricted to maturity. तो continue करेंगे because this is applicable in your syllabus. 2021 में she brought rupees का limit for which policies? ULIP, but that you don't have to study. 2023 में she brought rupees का limit for other policies. She says from today onwards, now you need to understand, every insurance related tax amendment can only be a prospective amendment, because if earlier the limit was 20% and in 10-11 I have already taken a policy where my premium is within 20% limit, you changing the limit to 10% in 2012 cannot change my existing policy, and thus for new policies 10% became applicable. Likewise for handicap, if they have already taken a policy in 12-13, they were subjected to the limit of 10%. So that cannot change now. Only on new policy the new limit is going to be applicable. So similarly, ULIP पे the rupees वाला limit will apply only if the policy was taken 1st Feb 21 onwards. or ULIP you ignore. Let's talk about other policies. Let's talk about this guy, 100 crore ka policy and who has paid annual premium of 10 crore and purchased the policy on 31st March 23. Was there any rupees limit on that date? No. And I have already taken the policy. Now, once I take the policy, I will be paying my premium every year. Now, you can't target me. So, the amendment can only be prospective. So, one thing you have to be clear that this amendment which came for non-ULIP policies will be only if the policy is taken on or after 1st April 23, that is 23-24 onwards. And here now, your annual premium should be maximum 5 lakh. So for ULIP, क्या चाहिए? जो करना है कर, but don't get distracted. This is complicated. Okay, please focus. Non-ULIP, non-term insurance. ULIP का 250, please ignore. It is, tell yourself as good as we have not done only. Don't confuse yourself unnecessarily. खाली बता दिया because it is there in the law. Somewhere you end up reading the income tax act. Then अभी आप तो chat GPT को पूछे life insurance का details. और chat GPT पूरा का and that also very rudely है बताना. They will give you all the details by doing chat GPT with Google search करके ही दे. So then they will in the reply that they will give you 1010D also. And in 1010D में they will give you ULIP also. To avoid that unnecessary doubt, I have told you about it, but you can ignore. Focus on policies which are non-ULIP and purchased on or after 1st April 23. The maximum annual premium will be 5 lakh rupees. Even if the premium is within the percentage ka limit, but if you have paid a total of more than 5 lakh, then maturity ka money will be taxable, but death cases will still remain. Death cases will still remain exempt. In short, 2023 onwards, any new policy, you have to comply with two limits. One, if this has come, the percentage limit is not going away anywhere. Percentage ka limit. Let us take 10% as an example because, normal people ka example. Handicapped hoga to it will be 15. You have to keep your premium within 10% and within 5 lakh both. Earlier, only percentage limit was applicable, but now we have to comply with percentage as well as rupees wala limit. It is possible that percentage may you have complied, but rupees may you have crossed the limit. The maturity is going to be taxable. Samjha? I will do a big example for you. Iske andar that doubt will also be taken care of. Sir, what if I have multiple policies? We'll take care of everything. Okay. I will give you date of issue of policy. Name of the policy. Sum assured. The annual premium that you are paying. And we have to finally decide whether the money received is taxable or exempt. And let's be clear, we will only discuss maturity cases because death cases irrespective will remain exempt. Clear hai? Chalo. First example. I have taken a policy on 31st of March 23. Name of the policy, policy A, which is a term insurance policy. Sum assured is 10 crore. Annual premium is 1 crore. Is my premium within the percentage limit? Bro, equal to 10 ho gaya. Equal to 10 is allowed. Equal to is very important. Less than or equal to both. But have I crossed the amount of 5 lakh? So taxable kya exempt? Good morning. I have to first make sure you are awake. Maturity नहीं होगा, it is term insurance. It will be only death benefit, and death benefit irrespective, it is always going to be exempt. छोड़ एक काम कर. 1st April 23 is that date from which rupees limit gets triggered. Correct है ना? Policy B, term insurance 10 crore 1 crore. If 1st April 2023 से तो 5 lakh का limit is applicable, no? But again not applicable. क्यों sir? Because it is term insurance. अरे are you following? चलो, तो no further confusion. I can see you are awake. Now I will take examples of non-ULIP. Non-ULIP only I will have to take, no, because ULIP is not in your syllabus. नहीं तो ULIP होगा तो we will apply 2,50,000 का limit. Okay? And non-term insurance. Because term insurance में maturity का question only does not arise. Okay? Policy taken on 31st March 23. Policy C. 10 crore 1 crore. This time there will be maturity, no? Because it is non-term insurance. Maturity होगा ना? And have we paid more than 5 lakhs? Yes. Therefore, the money received will be term. No. Why? Because 5 lakh ka limit will be applicable if your policy is taken on or after this date. CA की exam में they twist questions like this. They will not check whether you know the law. They will check whether you are reading the question properly. तो taxable के exempt. Sir, why? Because 31st March 23 पे 5 lakh का limit is not applicable. 5 lakh का limit got activated from 1st April 23. Correct है? चलो. Policy D. 10 crore 1 crore 10 lakh. The limit got activated from 1st April 23, no? So ये 10% का limit was always in existence. I hope you understand. So let's be clear. Now we will check on new policies percentage and rupees both, and on old policies at least the percentage we still have to check. So why is this taxable? Even if it is 31st March 23, why is this taxable? Because even if 5 lakh ka limit is not applicable, it is still exceeding 10% and therefore taxable. समझा क्या? Hello? Okay. Next example. Hello. Check. Oh, distracted people. 1 minute का time लगता है for you guys to get distracted. Please focus. Why is this taxable? Because, sorry about the interruption. Why is this taxable? Because 10% का limit was crossed. चलो ठीक है. Now let's talk about 1st April 23. Everyone is with me? Policy E. 10 crore 1 crore. क्यों? अरे 10% के limit में ना. But now 5 lakh का limit is going to be applicable. Correct है? So this will become taxable because now we will check percentage as well as rupees, both limits. First April 23, policy F, 60 lakh का policy, 6 lakh का premium, taxable. Why? Crossing the limit. Very good. We live in a country called India, bro. What's your name? Spell it. Herab. What does that mean? Achha, Hiram. I pronounce it correctly? Hiram? Hiramb. Hiramb. We are Indians. We are Indians. Is this maturity taxable? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very intelligent people. Do not take policy F. Take policy G and H 40 lakh, 20 lakh, 4 lakh, 2 lakh. Answer mat do. I will explain. So every time you are going to cross 5 lakh ka premium, split your policy. At least on new policies you are aware. Now this is a dilemma wala situation for the government. While on one hand government wants to grant you that exemption, but on the other hand, if we grant exemption to all the individual policies like that, so the whole rupees wala limit ka purpose will get defeated. We want to grant you exemption also, but we still don't want to grant you blanket exemption. So here, when this situation was faced, ये percentage वाले limit में this situation is never, this situation will never arise, because we will see individual policy का percentage limit, but aggregate में rupees limit can cross, no? So here, the respected honorable finance minister added one line when she brought this. She added that line for 250,000 also in 2021, but that you don't have to study. Then she added this same line for that 5 lakh ka limit for non-ULIP wala policies. She says, take exemption on any combo of policies. You make your own combo. You have 10 policies, make your combo where the aggregate of those policies is not exceeding 5 lakh. मतलब सुनो, क्या हुआ? Something you're not understanding that. Take exemption on any combo of policies where aggregate premium is not exceeding 5 lakh. मतलब listen, policy F का exemption you can't take because individually it is exceeding. सुनो, 5 lakh का limit. Okay, focus on policy G and H. Individually is policy G का premium within the limit. Therefore, individually is policy G eligible for exemption. Individually, yes. Individually is policy H also eligible for exemption because it is within the limit. But you can't take both. So what are your options? Take G exempt and H ka maturity taxable. Or option 2, take H ka maturity exempt and G ka maturity taxable. Whichever you are taking in exempt is that policy ka premium within the limit. Now think about it. Between G or H, what is better to take as exempt? So you take this as exempt and take this as taxable. The maturity value, death will obviously give exempt. Supposingly, I'll add some examples here. You have 3 more policies. This will give you a better idea. You've understood that in the event that aggregate premium exceeds 5 lakh, they will still give you exemption, but not on all of them, obviously. So what to do? Make your own combo. But the combo ka aggregate premium should not exceed 5 lakh rupees. So let us take some more examples. Say policy I, 15 lakh ka policy, 1.5 lakh ka premium. Ye 25 lakh, 2.5 lakh ka premium. This is 30 lakh, 3 lakh ka premium. All policies taken on the same data, because if it was up to 31st March 23, so we don't have to check the rupees wala part, that will remain exempt, only percentage is applicable. But on new policies, we have to check percentage as well as rupees. First of all, percentage wise are all the policies within the premium limit, so that issue does not arise. By chance any one of these premium exceeds the percentage limit, then remove that policy from our discussion, that is any which way taxable. Our focus is those policies which are within percentage limit and individually within 5 lakh ka limit and taken 1st April 23 onwards, because old policies are not a part of this discussion. Now think about it. Let's start with our combos. Combo 1, can I take G ka exemption individually within 4 lakh? But with G, can I add H, I, J, K, anything? So that's my only policy possible. Second, go to policy H. H ka premium is 2 lakh. So H ke saath, can I take I? Come on. That will make the total premium 3.5. Can I add J in this? No. Can I add K? No. Chalo, combo 3. Go to policy I 1.5. With this can I take? एक मिनट, एज के साथ में we have taken I, but एज के साथ में we have to also check J. We can take that also, and with H we can also take K. Correct है? Now go and check with I के साथ we can take J, but we can't add K in this, and with I we can also take K because 4.5, and last में we have one more combo. नहीं, ये नहीं होगा because J and K together will make it 5.5. These are your options. You take any one combo as exempt. What are you thinking? In whichever combo I am able to take, and which is that combo? Clearly visible. H plus K में I will be able to take 50 lakh का exemption. All your other policies, that is G, I and J का maturity will become taxable. So when your case has multiple policies, we will grant you the exemption, but only till the time your annual premium does not exceed 5 lakh. After that, it will be taxable. And which policy to take in this, we leave the choice to you. You take it in a manner most beneficial to you. Does that make sense with the numbers? Remember that in this example, never take any term insurance policy. Never take any ULIP because we have separate limit. Never take any policy taken up to 31st March 23 because for those policies we only have, come on, percentage limit, rupees wala limit is not applicable. That's your section 1010D. Old policies only percentage limit, new policies percentage as well as rupees limit, but all the discussion, one more time ladies and gentlemen, all the discussion is with respect to maturity cases because death cases under all circumstances will remain exempt. Clear hai? Let's go ahead. We are still doing exempt income ka chapter. Agriculture was big, this was time लगेगा. इसमें you don't get offended कि सर क्या इतना सारा time you are taking. देख सुन, एक काम कर, note down कर. We have finished 6 lectures, 5 in pre-result and yesterday 1, 18 hours हुआ है. Okay. Today about a little over an hour. जिस दिन 160 hours पूरा हो जाए, 70 है लेकिन 60-70 के बीच में, that day you come and ask sir कभी खत्म. Before that you only tolerate. कुछ मैं क्या करूं? It's a big subject, not my control. I also sometimes think I should have taken strategic management 5 lecture में खत्म. I also think sometimes what to do. हाँ जी. Different मतलब? सुनो. Once you are in 23-24, then whether you take in April, May, June, bro, you take in 24-25. From that date onwards rule है. आप समझे? Okay. If this is confusing you, सुनो. क्या नाम है आपका? So from this date onwards, this rule will apply on all policies. Existing policies will not come anywhere in the discussion. New policies में you take one in May, one in June, one in July. Right now you are only starting the policies. आप exemption आज थोड़ी लोगे. When are you going to take your exemption? Then when the term will get over, वो maturity will happen 10 years after 23. आप समझे क्या? Maturity का money when you will get, by that time you will know which policies you have, which policies you don't have. Followed? Okay. हाँ, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. We are still doing clauses of exempt income. Do not try to find any connection between the previous clause and the next clause. They have no connection. That is why they are called clauses. Section 10-15. If you have earned interest income from the following sources. Normally, if you earn interest income like your bank interest, etc., it is taxable. But interest income from the following sources will be exempt. If you have earned interest from notified GSEC, you've come across this term any time before in your life, GSEC? But क्या where पता है ना? हाँ ठीक है. गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, बॉन्ड मार्केट में, सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट में गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज आर वेरी पॉपुलरली नोन एज GSEC. So basically government wants your money. Please understand, you have your savings, money is lying idle, you want to invest it somewhere, government wants to use your money. They come up with lots and lots of schemes, securities, which they issue you. In return, they will give you interest. But the rate of interest given by government is very, very low, which is why it is observed that a lot of people are not interested in investing in government securities. So some of these securities, government will give you exemption. Observe carefully, not all government securities ka interest is exempt. Only and only if it is notified. You know where does government release all its notifications? It is like an official announcement. Government ka notification comes in the official gazette. You all have studied all this? Official gazette? Pata hai, you all have idea? Nice. It is basically, it's a website also. Okay. If government wants to make any announcement, so what will they do? A WhatsApp group of all Indians, a Telegram channel of government is making announcements. वो तो possible नहीं है. They will, that this is the official document of the government of India. They will release the announcement in this document, and once an announcement is released in this document, it is assumed that everyone in the country now knows. Because we cannot come and make announcements individually. So gazette में लिख दिया, that means everyone is informed. So they will notify these securities in the gazette. Sometimes when they are in desperate need of money, they will notify so that people are motivated to invest, and thereafter the interest that you earn is going to be fully exempt. Remember one thing, interest is not exempt on all government securities, only and only if those securities are notified in the official gazette. ये first point है. And second, if you are earning interest from post office saving account, frustration levels are so high that people are throwing things around, because the reaction was mainly because, sir, you know which generation you are talking to. We don't go to post offices. We don't even know what a post office is. Aadhaar update करने के लिए. That's the only time. बैंक में भी होता है. और मैक्सिमम इफ यू हैव एन एड्रेस चेंज, तो वो पासपोर्ट कलेक्ट करने के लिए मे बी यू हैव टू गो टू द पोस्ट ऑफिस, बिकॉज पासपोर्ट कम्स थ्रू ऑफिशियल स्पीड पोस्ट. घर पे आता है, बट इफ यू आर नॉट स्टेइंग इन दैट हाउस, तो इट विल गो बैक. देन यू हैव ओल्ड कनेक्शंस विद दैट पोस्टमैन, तो यू कॉल हिम एंड से के संभाल के रखो, आई एम कमिंग. Our generation does not believe in going to post offices. But then we should know this, that all post offices in our country have the license to do banking business. You can open saving account in a bank account, you can open saving account in post office, FD, RD, all your banking activities can be done in post offices. Sir, we don't go does not mean it does not exist. Hello? If you have a bank ka saving account, the interest earned will be taxable. But if you have a post office ka saving account, the interest will be exempt. If it is an individual account, so the exemption is rupees 3,500. And if it is a joint account, so the exemption is up to rupees 7,000. तो समझो जरा प्लीज, सपोजिंगली पोस्ट ऑफिस अकाउंट में यू आर गेटिंग interest of 5,000. How are we going to present it in our answer paper? We will write that 5,000 in the inner column, saying that this is my interest income. But from this, I am eligible for exemption of 3,500. Outer column mein I will write 1,500. समझा क्या? And what if this interest was only 3,000? So obviously it is going to be fully exempt. Exempt up to 3,500. मतलब unlike agriculture income or share of profit from partnership, it is not fully exempt. There is an upper limit on the exemption. The exemption is restricted to an amount of 3,500. Presentation understood? And joint account हुआ तो will give you exemption of up to 7,000. That's your interest. Presentation if you want you can. हाँ, एक मिनट, income tax कैसे calculate होता है? So if you are doing computation of income, you will take interest only of that particular year. No? तो ये मेरा annual interest है, and from that annual interest, this much is exempt, so this much is going to be taxable. What happened? Present गंदा handwriting. Issue क्या है? You all understood what I said? पक्का? That was your 10. I'll leave the presentation here only. मतलब अगर आपको चाहिए थोड़ा अच्छे से लिखो, नहीं लिखो, रिमूव करो. ये भगवान, ये तो प्राइवेट ट्यूशन में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. One is saying लिखो, other is saying नहीं लिखो. What to do? Customize. अच्छा ठीक है. See, if the interest received is 5,000, so 3,500 will be exempt. Or alternatively, if the interest received is 3,000, so from 3,000 the amount exempt will be full 3,000. Balance will be taxable. Happy? Chali, fantastic. Let's go ahead. Section 1016. If you have received any educational scholarship why are scholarships paid? Bright children who unfortunately are unable to afford education, we pay them some education scholarships. Correct? That educational scholarship received to meet the cost of education. देखो, cost of education is not restricted or confined to the school or college fee that you are paying. You need to understand. You will have to buy books and stationery also. That will also go to meet cost of your education. You have to daily travel from your residence to your educational institution. The traveling ka cost is also cost of your education. Hello. Maybe some extra class, etc. that you have to take. That is also cost of education. Whatever you receive as a scholarship, fully exempt. Bro, sometimes you go to other cities to study. You all are lucky that you all are pursuing Chartered Accountancy. Engineers have to go to Kota. UPSC aspirants have to go to Delhi, Rajendra Nagar. These are known as hub of the respective education. So you will have to pay hostel fees also. Your food ka expense is also like your meet the cost of education wala expense. Everything will be fully exempt. Clause is over here. 1016 khatam. Any educational scholarship received, and it is not compulsory that it has to be a poor student. Meri baat sun lo. Supposingly you are a college topper in an individual subject or maybe aggregate mein, so educational institutions do give monetary scholarship as an award, as a reward. You are aware of that? That is also exempt. It is nowhere written in the section that it is compulsory that you have to be poor. Scholarship will be exempt. Correct? Hai? Clause is over. In the enactment of this clause, government has left a big defect. There is something terribly wrong here. वो तो बोल दिया ना. Fees, travel cost, stationery ka cost, books ka cost, all that is cost of education. there is a defect with which government only will suffer losses. Use your brain, use your common sense. I repeat, I am privileged to teach an intelligent crowd. Guess kar. There is no limit, but that is not there in agriculture also. Defect kya hai? One by one. Nothing specified. So, by the way, CA is the only course where you can pursue without scholarship also. Because cost of CA is too less. उसमें भी so many free resources are available. लोग टेलीग्राम से बुक का बुक डाउनलोड कर मेरा तो कोई बुक अवेलेबल नहीं है टेलीग्राम पे किस सर का हाँ ठीक है सर्च कर लेना सीए एजुकेशन में in fact if you are uncomfortable with a particular subject also so many lectures are freely available on YouTube etc. कल से मत आना हम लोग अगर इतना ही प्रॉब्लम है but other courses medical engineering MBA they are very very expensive but somehow they have not specified anything मतलब if by chance CA का course pursue करने के लिए भी you don't have funds and somebody is helping you that is also accepted defect is what that is still not defect government will exempt मतलब who will exempt क्यों irrespective whoever is तो ऐसा बोलो ना who is giving anybody is giving nothing specific but ठीक है ना anyone can give you financial assistance not a defect it can be anyone so what if it is a related party it's still not a defect आप समझ नहीं रहे हो you have to identify something where government is going to suffer unnecessary losses nothing is specified तो किसी को भी मिल सकता है doesn't matter because ultimately education है ना हाँ
whether in cash or kind
वो भी नहीं स्पेसिफिक काइंड में कैसे किसी ने बुक से दे दी so that way you're not getting any fund no ठीक है ना somewhere you are on the correct track थोड़ा कुछ और बोलना है like what is your good name I had asked you your name last time हेत मैंने ये भी बोला होगा कि लव एंड अफेक्शन को मारवाड़ी में हम लोग हेत बोलते हाँ तो हेत कंटिन्यू यू आर ऑन द राइट ट्रैक class is not defined matlab you are given money to meet cost of education logically speaking payer will give you thinking that you will join some institution etc you are taking private tuition and blowing out the money of that donor or kuch you said 5-star mein food or kuch bro forget it someone gave you 5 lakh ka scholarship to meet cost of education now student life mein we have unfortunately never seen 5 lakh together dekho at least your own 5 lakh you have not seen with family ka 5 lakh don't count you don't deserve anything from that at least now apna khud ka 5 lakh you have seen total mein bhi you have seen till date you have seen nahi 5 lakh if someone is giving you together you'll go crazy because you've never seen so much money sir education from Monday uske pehle Saturday and 5 lakh is good enough to invite the entire batch वो सैटरडे कोई फुल फंड्स गॉन मंडे के एजुकेशन के लिए नथिंग इज रिमेनिंग स्टिल एग्जाम्ड दैट इज द डिफेक्ट द गिवर इज गिविंग यू टू मीट कॉस्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दे हैव नॉट स्पेसिफाइड दैट यू स्पेंड ऑल्सो फॉर एजुकेशन इन फैक्ट यू गेट 5 lakh टू मीट कॉस्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन यू डिसकंटिन्यू योर एजुकेशन बोला सर बहुत है कमा लिया सर लाइफ में दिस इज द डिफेक्ट इट्स अ ब्लैंकेट एग्जेम्पशन एटलीस्ट दिस मच एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट सर कितना मच दैट exemption to the extent spent for meeting education का cost. At least that clarification should be given, no yaar. Tell me, are you following? That is the defect, bro. तो ट्रैक was correct. मेरे साथ रहेगा तो एकदम करेक्ट है. Understood the defect? One more section we will do, then we will go for the break. Okay. मतलब section is same. We are talking about clause. Correct है, but that they have not said no in the section. They are saying educational scholarship received is exempt, full stop. What addition I am expecting in this clause? Educational scholarship received to the extent spent to meet cost of education. If they don't write in the law, then you and me are free to do anything with those funds, no? यही तो डिफेक्ट है. अंडरस्टूड के नहीं? सेक्शन 1017 लास्ट क्लॉज चैप्टर का नहीं, बिफोर द ब्रेक. हाँ, नहीं तो क्या है, सम पीपल आर ओनली हैविंग वन थिंग इन द माइंड, ब्रेक कभी देगा लास्ट. इफ यू आर अ मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट or you are a member of legislative assembly, MP, MLA, they are public representatives. Members of parliament are elected from across the country. Lok Sabha mein we have 543 MPs. Mumbai itself has got 6 Lok Sabha constituencies. You should always know who is the public representative of your area. At least I know about my. कौन है? रियान. Who is the public representative of? इसको बनाओगे पब्लिक का काम करने के टाइम पे ही will only laugh and come home. कौन है? अच्छा छोड़ो, मैं बोलता हूँ. Member of Parliament is not Mr. Lodha ji. Member of Parliament from our area, South Bombay, is a gentleman called Mr. Arvind Sawant. क्या हुआ? क्या बोलते हैं पागल लोग? Focus on what I am speaking. Don't waste time. The longer you take, the cut off will be from your break का time. Time pass मत करो. नहीं ना, अभी देखो कितना डिसिप्लिन. Member of Legislative Assembly, again अब वो area by area depend. Kolaba area, there is a member of Legislative Assembly called Mr. Rahul Narvekar, who also happens to be the Speaker of Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha. Yeah, this area, this is Malabar Hill constituency. There is a gentleman called Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha. You go further, another area, there is a Mumbai Devi constituency where there is a gentleman called Mr. Amin Patel. After that, there is Baikala constituency. I have forgotten the name. Shivdi constituency mein there is a gentleman called Mr. Ajay Chaudhary. Burli constituency mein there is a gentleman called Mr. Aditya Thakre. These are members of Legislative Assembly. क्या हुआ? Relative है. You have to ask people before making political jokes. In any case, politics in our country already is a joke. These are public representatives. We have voted for them. Now listen. Break ka time cut off. Members of parliament will sit in the parliament in Delhi and take the country ka decisions as a part of the central legislature. And members of legislative assembly, which will be elected from across our state, will sit in the Vidhan Sabha and in the capital city, obviously Mumbai, and take state ka decisions here. India has 543 MPs who take India ka decisions in Delhi, and Maharashtra has 288 MLAs who sit in Mumbai ka Vidhan Sabha and take decisions. So when the parliament or assembly is in session, I hope you know, parliament does not work 365 days. There is a monsoon session, winter session and budget session. Because rest of the year, these people have to be amongst the people who have voted for them and work for their betterment. Officially at least. Work for the betterment of the people who have voted for them. So they can't be in the parliament all throughout the year. But when they are in the parliament, matlab MPs ke liye we will talk about parliament, and MLAs ke liye we will talk about assembly. Legislative assembly, matlab Vidhan Sabha it is called in Hindi. Are they away from their normal place of residence? Think about it. So for that they will be given something called a daily allowance. Whenever you are away from your normal place of work, do you agree that your day-to-day expenses will increase? Evening may you go home, you get food, but if you are in some other city, you will have to pay for that food. There will be an increase in your daily expense. Do you agree with that? And they will also be given something called a constituency allowance. Constituency allowance. See, constituency का मतलब you know or you don't know will decide आगे का discussion. Constituency means the place from where you won election. So we can say South Mumbai is the Lok Sabha constituency of Mr. Arvind Sawant, or Malabar Hill is the Vidhan Sabha constituency of Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, or Worli is the Vidhan Sabha constituency of Mr. Aditya Thakur. Gandhinagar is the Lok Sabha constituency of Mr. Amit Shah, or Varanasi is the Lok Sabha constituency of Mr. Narendra Modi. The place from where you win election is called constituency. Have people over there voted for you? So are you responsible towards them? You will get funds from the government money to spend for people of that area. Which is why many a times you will come across a public park outside which there will be name written. This garden was beautified by the funds provided by Honorable MLA or Honorable MP, Mr. or Miss so and so. Bandra West ki lanes mein you go. There are boards over there. This area has CCTV coverage because of the funds provided by MLA Mr. Baba Siddiqui. He passed away recently, but when he was the MLA at that time, he did. So beautification. In fact, Prime, Amazon Prime pe there is a web series Panchayat, 4 seasons. Panchayat mein, you know, they want to make that road which connects their village to the highway, and they approach whom? Vidayak ji fund. Vidayak ji. Nahi dekha to फिर then ignore. That is basically Vidayak is the MLA who will provide funds for making that road which will connect the highway to the village. Why will he provide the fund? Because he is getting money from the government to spend for people of his area, and that money that is received by MPs and MLAs is called constituency allowance. So daily allowance is to meet your expenses when you are away from home, and constituency allowance is for spending for the people who have voted for you. Whether daily allowance or constituency allowance, both of them are fully exempt. If you are confused about what after CA, try going in politics. You know, tax wise, so this is the best possible. Dearness allowance is given to corporate employees to meet increase in cost of living perpetually, all throughout the year. And daily allowance will be given only to public representatives, that is MP, MLA, that also only when the parliament or the assembly is in session. Samjhe? So, daily allowance or constituency allowance is going to be fully exempt. Listen, Heth, point out a defect because you are good in doing that. Come on. Soch lo. Meanwhile, anyone else also. Meaning is clear. Daily allowance, constituency allowance, meaning is clear. Any fund received by MP, MLA in the form of daily allowance or constituency allowance is going to be fully exempt. There is a defect. Itna sochna hi nahi hai, bro. It was less than a second. नहीं नहीं वो तो वैसे भी even if you are staying in that constituency still they want a separate bungalow, a separate food, they want everything. इतना let's not waste time. Let's be honest. Once again, same defect है ना bro. Same defect. They are given constituency allowance, but what if they don't spend it? समझा क्या? Hello. हाँ. So daily allowance and constituency allowance will be exempt irrespective of usage. But one thing I would like to still tell you here, exemption is only with respect to these two allowances. These public representatives, you will be surprised, shocked if you are not already aware, they are also paid something called Sitting fees. You must have heard about sitting fees paid to companies का directors. Have you or have you not? किधर 12th में? Everything you studied in 12th only. इधर इंटर में आके तो कुछ सीखा. Sitting fees is paid to, can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? Means we have voted for them. They have to go and sit in the parliament. When they go and sit in the parliament, they get paid for this, for attendance. Just imagine someone paying you for attendance. Then I don't have to again and again say that preferably come in class, don't attend online. The moment we say we will pay you, in fact your reaction will be, sir kitna? I am not paying you. So don't ask only that question. They are going to get money for attending sessions. Can you believe that? But hey, this is going to be taxable. Sitting fees is taxable. Exemption is only with respect to daily allowance and constituency allowance. Sitting fees is taxable. Ye clear hai? Okay, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, very quick break of 10 minutes. Be on your seats on time. Hello. Let's go ahead. We still have some clauses remaining in section 10. Section 1070, exempt income is going on. On these incomes, you don't have to pay tax. Section 1017A, any kind of monetary award, reward that you have received from central government or state government for achievement in the field of now this is where the real section is going to start. In the field of arts, literature, sports, entertainment, science, etc. is going to be fully exempted. So we are talking about civilian honors, if you have some idea about. So the lowest of them is Padma Shri, then we have Padma Bhushan, we have Padma Vibhushan, and the highest civilian honor in our country is Bharat Ratna. You get one medal and certificate from the President of India, you also get monetary rewards. Fully exempt. Fully exempt. It can be given to sports persons. Sports persons के लिए there is a separate award, Arjuna award. I don't know if you are aware. Monetary compensation, fully exempt. In fact, supposingly the team has performed good, you know, Champions Trophy they have won, yeah, 2020 World Cup they have won, yeah, Asia Cup they have won. Central government, state government in those cases also announce rewards for the players. And don't confine your sports ka knowledge to cricket. An Olympic gold medalist like last time I think it was Neeraj Chopra will also be given some monetary awards from central government, state government. All those awards, all those rewards, monetary compensations will be fully exempt to honor the achievement. Okay. Next. Section 10:18. If you are a member of armed forces, and you have been a recipient of bravery award. So whenever members of armed forces, example, army, navy, air force, paramilitary forces. In fact, your armed forces does not mean only army, navy, air force. Your NSG ka commandos, your CRPF, all of them are covered here. You have been a recipient of bravery award. Sir, what kind of award? Armed forces mein, when you perform well during war times, any other calamity, you are given different types of awards. Like one of the low category awards is a gallantry award. If you go a little higher, there is something called MVC. You know the full form, Mahavir Chakra. Highest armed forces ka honor in our country is PVC, that is Paramveer Chakra. It is always given posthumous. English. After death, Paramveer Chakra. I think recently movie was Sher Shah on the life of Captain. So perfect, yeah. Residential status का question. नहीं ऐसे should I? So these members of armed forces, they have performed good during wartime. One fine day they will retire from armed forces. After retirement, they will get something called pension. The pension so received is going to be fully exempt. After retirement, they will get something called pension. Pension so received is going to be fully exempt. In fact, after their death, there will be family pension given to their spouse. Of course, in Paramveer Chakra, from day one, it will be family pension. Q. Because it is given only after death. But for other awards, it is possible that you are alive. So during your retirement life, you will get pension, and after you die, as long as your spouse is alive, pension is paid. Pension, that means a big burden on government fund. Think about it, that till the time the spouse is surviving, government has to pay pension. And this pension is going to be fully exempt. Received by the retired employee or received by the spouse of the retired employee, fully exempt. ये clear है? But listen, pension given to, first of all, private sector में pension का concept only does not exist. Private sector में once you retire, you don't retire, you die for the organization. Pension pay करने का concept you will always see only in case of government employees. There will be, anybody having government employee at home? After retirement, there will be pension. ये खुद है? He is the government. और तू क्या employee उसका? So you are also covered here. Then you are also covered here. सुनो, government employees थोड़ा सा offensive होगा, but क्योंकि कौन है? मेरे भी थे. So I am talking about mine. They take birth only to enjoy life. 12 o'clock they will go to work, 2 o'clock they will have lunch, 4 o'clock they will come home. कल से करेंगे. And their life is sorted because after retirement they will get pension. My grandfather used to work for Indian Railways. 1997 में he passed away. 28 years हो गया. My grandmother is still getting pension. 28. I'm talking about myself. No offense to you. Don't feel offended. Ladies and gentlemen, that pension is taxable. Be clear about that. Because my grandfather was not recipient of bravery award. The exemption is only for recipients of bravery awards. ये clear है? So other government employees का pension when they are alive is taxable, and family pension after that death is also taxable for the spouse, the receiver. Exemption is only if you have been recipient of bravery award. ये clear? It will appear similar, but it is different. Section 1019, if you have been a member of armed forces, who died during official duty. Member of armed forces who died during official duty. So members of same armed forces, army, navy, air force, NSG command. Bro, even local police is armed force. Armed force मतलब क्या? They have been given government का official arm for protection purposes. So police का members will also come here who have died during official duty. First of all, you understand that if they have died during official duty, the self pension is not possible. From day one, it is going to be family pension. It is going to be fully exempt. मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि it will look similar but it is different. I will tell you. Okay. एक तो first of all, is this clear? Recipient of bravery award, महावीर चक्र, परमवीर चक्र, something like शेरशाह, कैप्टन विक्रम बख्ता, ऐसा कुछ भी. Okay. Let's talk about this. When you all were newborn babies, you all were about a year old, less than a year old, Mumbai saw its biggest terrorist attacks, 26/11/2008. There were some of the biggest officers of the Mumbai police force. There, gentlemen called Hemant Karkare, Ashok Kamte, Sandeep Unnikrishnan was a NSG commando who had come specially to protect Mumbai. The police constable called Mr. Tukaram Omble, his statue is right at Girgaon Chopati. He took all the bullets from the AK-47 right into his chest, but he did not leave the gun, and that is how we could catch that only single alive terrorist. Now, the sacrifice of these people cannot be measured with an award. Whether you give them an award or you don't give them an award, we are always going to be grateful to them. You and me are surviving only because of them. They died during official duty. Received award or did not receive award, doesn't matter. Family pension will be exempt. Suno. The previous clause was receiver of bravery award. Even if you have not died, and this is died during official duty, even if you have not received any bravery award. So any one of the two things take place. Many a times it is possible that you died and then Paramvir Chakra mila because of that bravery. So you fall probably in both clauses. But if you fall in any one of the two clauses, you're still going to be eligible for exemption. You receive award, then whether you die or you don't, doesn't matter. And you have died during official duty, whether you receive award or you don't receive award, doesn't matter. समझा क्या? They look similar, but there is a difference. And there is one more difference. In the previous clause, there can be own pension and family pension. Because it is possible that you are alive. But in this clause, it can only be family pension, because here you have to die during official duty, then only this section will get activated. Correct? Eh? So are you clear about the similarity and the difference? They look similar, but there is difference. Clear? Huh? Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. This is the last clause of section 10 exempt income in this chapter. There are some clauses which are chapter specific, which we will do in different chapters. But ये वाले chapter का last clause, section 10 26 AAA. Income of a Sikkimese individual if you are a subject of the state of Sikkim है northeast Gangtok, that's the capital city here. You are a Sikkimese individual, you will get full exemption of the following: any income in the state of Sikkim. सिक्किम के geographical boundary में if you are earning any income in the state of Sikkim, everyone is with me? And second, interest and dividend on securities These two incomes will be fully exempt. Any income in the state of Sikkim and any interest or dividend on securities will be fully exempt. Matlab, listen, Maharashtrian having income in Maharashtra is taxable. Gujarati having income in Gujarat is taxable. But Sikkim is having income in Sikkim is exempt. Basically, income tax is not levied by the state government, income tax is levied by the central government, but central government is exempting income of Sikkim is in the state of Sikkim. ये rule है. This is the rule. This income is exempt. The question is why? Here is where discussing logic of the sections comes into picture. And now, as far as logic is concerned, if you were to ask me, we should always take some time in understanding the reason why. But then this is audience specific, batch specific, student specific. If you say so, yes sir, exempt hai na. So exam mein what do we have to do? Sikkim is having income in the state of Sikkim. Amount column 0. Why 0? Because it is exempt. Will we get our marks? So chodo na sir, why do you go into the detail of everything? So if we have to go into the logic, then we have to go into the detail. Then don't say that sir is going into the detail and consuming more time. So you will have to take that call as an audience. कि detail में जाना है कि नहीं जाना है? You take a final call. Because if you say so, then once we start, then there is no, कि sir इतना ही करो कि इतना. It is like do or you don't. As simple as that. That will consume some time. Common sense होना चाहिए आपको. There is a special status. So you want. You sure, no? फिर ऐसा नहीं कि सर इज गोइंग इनटू डिटेल तो ऐसा आई सॉ दिस यस्टरडे कि आधा क्लास उठ के चला जा रहा आफ्टर माय क्लास. यू वंडरिंग व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन. इट डज नॉट वर्क लाइक दैट बिकॉज नो मैटर हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट यू आर, क्लासरूम में जितना हो गया उतना हो गया. यू आल्सो नो, आई आल्सो नो, घर जाने के बाद नहीं नॉट स्टेबल. बट ठीक है, आई विल नॉट गेट इनटू दैट बिकॉज दैट इज योर चॉइस. नो मैटर हाउ मच आई टेल यू, यू आर गोइंग टू डू व्हाट यू हैव डिसाइडेड. ओके, तो वंस यू डिसाइड देन वी विल हैव टू गो इनटू इट. तो करना है. Sikkim as a state has been given special status in the Constitution of India. You don't know that. You know only about Jammu and Kashmir. You know special status of Kashmir. You know Article 370 because it is a political issue. Because everyone speaks about it. Because Bollywood makes movies on it. Therefore, we know about Kashmir. Sikkim also has a special status. Sikkim was not a part of independent India in 1947. It was a separate state. But considering its geographical location, which is vulnerable because it has Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, China, everyone. So somewhere about 10-15 years after independence, when Sikkim realized that it is always going to be in a perpetual state of threat, the logical decision by the rulers of Sikkim was to come and join the federal structure of India. Where what is the federal structure? While the central government will guide you, state ka decisions you are free to take. So that way Sikkim will remain yours. But come and become a part of the Republic of India so that you will have the protection. There was only one issue that was stopping this, preventing this. In the state of Sikkim, before it merged into India as a separate country, there was no income tax. Sikkim as a country was free from levy of income tax. And this is where the problem came. The rulers of Sikkim said that we are ready to become a part of India, but our people are not used to paying income tax. And by that time, Income Tax Act 1961 was already enacted. Achha, by the way, just to tell you that even before Income Tax Act 1961, there was Income Tax Act 1922. In fact, there was income tax during British era. Lagan tha. That was income tax only. So they said this is our only problem. We said no problem. No income tax on your people. Problem over. And in fact, if your people now becoming a part of India are willing to make Sikkim mein reh ke you can make online investment in debentures, shares, so any kind of interest and dividend of securities also we are going to grant you exemption. This is because of the special status of the state of Sikkim, which a lot of people are not aware of, because Sikkim is not a political issue. Sikkim is not a debated issue. Bollywood is not making movies on Sikkim. But yes, there is special status. Abhi, what are you going to do now? Chat GPT. सिक्किम के स्पेशल स्टेटस के बारे में कुछ सिंपल में शॉर्ट में बताऊं? नहीं, whatever I have told you वही शॉर्ट में तो वही. Is that clear? Because of this special status, Sikkim's income in Sikkim is going to be exempt, and outside Sikkim also, interest and dividend on securities is going to be exempt. ये clear हुआ? और congratulations. With that, we are done with all the clauses of section 10. Hear me out, please. While section 10 ka clauses are over, there is still one section which I want to do with you in this chapter itself, and that is a section 10AA. Deduction in a special economic zone. क्या हुआ? कौन है सिक्किम में? ये क्या? चल चल, आई पॉइंट आउट डिफेक्ट इन योर आइडिया. दे आइडिया दे, बोल. एचआर है, एचआर में मॉर्निंग एग्जाम है, टाइम पास करेगा ना तो इवनिंग बैच विल गो अहेड ऑफ यू. देन क्या होगा? सर मॉर्निंग में एग्जाम है, कैन बी कम इन द इवनिंग. इफ दे आर अहेड ऑफ यू, देयर कोई प्रॉब्लम. Don't waste unnecessary time. Tax deduction in special economic zone, section 10AA. First of all, are we clear about this? That section 10 and section 10AA are not same. 10 and 10AA are as different as 10 and 11. 10AA is a section between 10 and 11. When we write 10(1) and when we write 10(2), they are all clauses of the same section 10. That is exempt income. But 10AA is not an exempt income ka section. This is something called deduction. So what we are going to do is, we will learn things one by one. First this part, then this part, then what do you mean by a special economic zone? Individually we will learn the three things, then together we will come back to the beginning. 10AA, deduction in SEZ. What is section 10AA? It is a section which is different from section 10. Section 10 has given us incomes which are exempt. So what do we do in those cases? We say this income is exempt. Amount column we will say 0. But be clear that if you are writing 10AA like this, or you are writing 10AA like this, or this is all wrong. When people write it like this, they get confused that section 10AA is a clause of section 10 only. No, sir. It is a separate section 10AA. Ye clear? Now, what is this thing called deduction? Then we will come to SEZ. This is a very, very important piece of information. In the form of general knowledge also, you guys should be having this. You should know this. What is the difference between an exemption and a deduction? While they both sound similar, but there is massive difference. Yes, it is true that both exemption and deduction, both of them will give you a tax benefit, but there is a difference. Exemption wala amount will never be included in your income. If a particular income is exempt, we will directly write amount column में 0. But if a particular income is eligible for deduction, yesterday after class someone was asking me about sale of agricultural land. Sale of agricultural land, किधर बेचा आपने? When did you sell it? नहीं, देखो capital gain का doubt था, but then capital gain का doubt can be discussed only when you know the full capital gain ka chapter. A deduction is you have a taxable income which you have written in the amount column, But from the income so written, we are going to subtract some tax benefit, which means that we are going to first include it in our income and later subtract. First add, then minus. That's a deduction. So when we don't write it only, it is going to be exemption. But when we write and we subtract, it is going to be a deduction. Let us take an example. Supposing there is a person who has got salary income of 2 lakhs. This person has got business income. He has got 2 businesses. Can one person have 2 businesses? Multiple businesses in fact. Iska 2 businesses. Business 1 is a normal business where he has earned profit of 10 lakhs. And business 2 is where he is doing agriculture in India. What is the tax treatment of agriculture in India? So the amount which is exempt is 8 lakh. Now that way, while taxable income is only 12, you understand how? The funds that he has, 22 lakh. He has 22 lakh at his disposal. He can spend the way he wants. He has purchased a life insurance policy where he is paying life insurance premium of rupees 1 lakh. To encourage savings for your future and protection of your family, government gives us tax benefit of the premium so paid, for which we have a separate chapter, deductions under chapter 6, where your life insurance premium, medical insurance premium, all that will be covered. Matlab, income tax law is going to give me tax benefit of this amount as well as this amount. But the difference is this amount ka tax benefit is an exemption and this amount ka tax benefit is a deduction. While both of them are tax benefits, the presentation is going to be different. So for this assessee, if I am going to go and calculate the net taxable total income, I will first write income from salary directly in the outer column, 2 lakh. I will then write income in the form of business. We write them in the order of the heads, but he does not have house property. He does not have capital gain. He does not have other sources. So we will write in the order. Salary ke baad mein he has got business. What will we do? Normal business ka profit 10 lakh, inner column, and agriculture business ka profit 0. Sir, why 0? Because it is exempt. So outer column mein business ka profit is only. Does he have any other income? No. When in the absence of any other income, this amount can we call it our gross total income. But because you have invested in life insurance, we will give you tax benefit of 1 lakh and effectively your net taxable total income will be only. Are you understanding that we have given you tax benefit of this amount and we have also given you tax benefit of this amount? But the difference is agriculture wala amount we have given you in the form of an exemption and life insurance ka benefit we have given you in the form of deduction. Exemption is something that will never be included in your income. Deduction is something that will be first added and then subtracted. Whenever government wants to give a blanket limitless lifetime tax benefit, they will put such amounts under exemptions because you don't have to include. Say for example, agriculture income. You have 1 rupee still outer column, it will be 0. You have 1 crore still outer column, it will be 0. You have 100 crore still outer column, it will be 0. So listen, blanket limitless lifetime tax benefit will be covered under exemption. You know, you can always have this question, ultimately you have to give tax benefit of both amounts. So simply take 10 plus 2 minus 1 equal to 11 lakh in the outer column. Why are you first taking full 12 then subtracting? Reason. When something is kept under deductions, they want to keep a cap on that amount. Life insurance premium ka tax benefit that we have taken is how much? 1 lakh. Supposingly the premium that I pay is 2 lakh. See, I can pay any amount of premium. We know that after 5 lakh the maturity is going to be taxable, but if I want I can still pay. there is a limit of this deduction. This deduction will be maximum 1,50,000. Why have I given entire benefit? Because it is within the limit. Supposingly the premium paid was 2 lakhs. So the deduction will be restricted to 1,50,000. You are understanding? So when they want to give limited tax benefit, they will keep those things under deductions. Lifetime tax benefits ko they will keep under exemptions, but limited tax benefits ko they will keep under deduction. That's the difference between exemption and deduction. And special economic zone does not fall under exemption. Section 10 is a section of exempt income. So anything coming under section 10? Hello? Anything coming under section 10? Exempt. But anything coming under section 10 double A, there will be some profit. That profit will come in the outer column, it will come in the total, and then finally we will take the deduction. Obviously for that we will first discuss what is special economic zone. But are you understanding? देखो मेरा target क्या था? My target was first to make you understand 10 is different from 10. My second target was to make you understand the difference between exemption and deduction. Now I will explain what is special economic zone, and finally we will do the full thing again.
So most of the savings will be at 2,500, that is
कोई exemption में भी they will keep a monetary limit, लेकिन deduction में कैसा होता है? For example 10 double, it is a deduction when you are doing business in special economic zone only for 15 years. Post office saving में वैसा नहीं. So you are earning that interest lifetime. We are going to give you that benefit. Agriculture income we will be earning lifetime. We will be getting benefit. That's one reason. Second, post office saving का जो tax benefit, we want to give tax benefit only against that income. So that income will write in the inner column and subtract it. If you observe carefully about the deduction of life insurance that we have taken, see, think about it. Have I taken that benefit from my salary income or business income? You can't define that. I have taken it from my total income. Deductions ko they therefore keep it like that because they do not want to give you deduction from any particular or specific income. So such things they will keep in the total wala amount, aggregate wala amount. These are the various reasons why certain benefits are kept under exemptions and certain benefits are kept under deductions. Are you clear about treatment and presentation of exemption and deduction? Exemption हुआ तो don't add only, don't include only, and deduction हुआ तो first add, take it in the total and then subtract. Clear है? Now let's talk about what is a special economic zone, because only when you know what is a special economic zone we can actually go and learn tax benefit of SEZ. Supposingly this is India. Yeah, I have done this before. India has been defined in income tax. Where is this place? ये नहीं, एक मिनट, don't say sir पंजाब में कि मध्य प्रदेश में exactly confuse हो रहा है. In India or outside India? Only that. Is this in India? Yes. Is this place within the geographical boundaries of India? But government of India has the right to declare any such place as special economic zone. What is the effect or impact of a place being declared as special economic zone? This place is physically in India, but for a lot of laws and taxes, you have to close your eyes and mentally imagine this place is not in India. You have to treat this place like a foreign territory because we are going to grant you immunity from some applicable laws. There is some immunity under Companies Act. There is some immunity under RBI regulations. We'll talk about taxation part. Under GST हो गया. Full syllabus is over. Almost. One lecture is left. Have you studied exemptions under GST? So उसमें have you studied that any goods or services in SEZ there will be no GST? Before GST we used to have service tax and VAT. So SEZ में there was no service tax. But then, not crossing my line and coming back to my subject, direct taxes. Just like GST, we are going to grant you a 15-year tax holiday under income tax from profits earned in SEZ. It's a 15-year tax holiday. Now you understand. From the 16th year, will your activity still be going on? So will you still be making those profits? You will write them in the amount column, write them in the total, but not get any deduction. Because they wanted to keep this limited tax benefit, so SEZ is not kept under exemption, but it is kept under deduction. Ye samjha? Now, this 15-year ka tax holiday will be divided into 3 slots. First slot will be first 5 years, year 1 to 5, where they will give you maximum tax benefit. Second slot is year 6 to 10, and third slot is year 11 to 15. As we go further, our tax benefit will keep on reducing. As far as intermediate students are concerned, you learn only the calculation of the first 2 slots of year 1 to 10. मतलब year 1 to 5 का calculation and year 6 to 10 का calculation. Tax benefit for doing business in special economic zone. Total benefit is for 15 years, but that third slot is very, very complicated. They ask only in CA final. In fact, I will also give you some basics about what is exactly a special economic zone. Government of India will always identify a particular location which can contribute to exports. So they will encourage people to set up their manufacturing units in special economic zone where you manufacture goods, tangible or intangible. It can be something like a software also. And you are exporting from SEZ, we will give you tax benefit on the basis of that export. If you want to take tax benefit, there are some conditions. Condition 1, you should commence your business in SEZ during the previous year 5-6. Previous year 5-6 matlab which assessment year? 6-7. Because in the year 2005, India enacted a law called the SEZ Act 2005, where they brought special provisions for special economic zone. So government said from today onwards, anybody coming in SEZ will be eligible for tax benefit. Which was the first year to start business in SEZ? 2005-6 to previous year 1920. Previous year 5-6 to previous year 1920. So what was the last date to enter SEZ for tax benefit purposes? 31st March 2020. But because 31st March 2020 was a COVID affected year, they also granted some extension on this last date, and final last date 6 months ka extension was granted 30th September 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in year 2025 right now. Get one thing very clear in your head. SEZ ka tax benefit, no matter how attractive or good you find it, you today cannot go and start taking tax benefit over there because the last date to enter has gone. Sir, so is SEZ ka tax benefit still relevant? Gone abhi kya? Because the date is gone, no? But if I have entered in this period and I am in my 15 years, so I can still take that tax benefit. The restriction was to enter SEZ in this period. So after this date also, at least for 15 years, I have to teach SEZ calculation. In 2035, maybe I can discontinue teaching SEZ because anybody who entered on this last date also is still within that slot of 15 years. Do you understand this? Restriction was to enter SEZ. And this in income tax is known as a sunset clause. Sunset clause matlab, as a name is self-explanatory. The last date by which you can enter. After this, we are bringing a sunset to SEZ ka deduction. Samjha? And there is a second condition here. You should be doing export of any article or thing from SEZ. The whole idea behind giving tax benefit to special economic zone was export ko promote kar, promotion of exports. So if SEZ में manufacturing करके you're doing domestic sales, we don't want to give you any tax benefit. Tax benefit will be given only and only if you are engaging in export business. वैसे there are many more conditions, but then छोड़ दो. For now, as long as you know this much also, no, it is good enough. What is a special economic zone? A place which is physically in India, but for tax purposes, you have to imagine it is outside India, because we are going to give you a tax holiday out there. There are benefits in other tax also, GST also, but we will focus only on the income tax part. Income tax, we have a tax holiday of how much time? 15 years, where we at intermediate have to learn tax benefit only of the first 10 years. Provided we have entered on the correct date and we are doing export of any article from that place. You know, there are other conditions, like if you are taking this deduction, it is compulsory to get a certificate from a chartered accountant that you have correctly calculated your deduction. So we will be solving sums on SEZ. We will get a final answer which is the amount of deduction. For that you will get marks. But in real life, that calculation is correct or not correct. Under that calculation, there will be a chartered accountant who will sign, and only if there is a signature, it will be considered correct. In short, some assistant of your office will do that calculation, take a printout, come to you for sign, and the client is going to pay you massive funds. Without signature of a chartered accountant, it is not possible. Whether statutory audit report, tax audit report, any audit report, only one profession has the monopoly to sign: chartered accountant. There is another condition. Is it possible I have two businesses, business A and business B? A is normal business where tax is applicable, and B is special economic zone where I will be taking tax benefit. Is it possible that there is some trade between these two businesses? I can manipulate and take tax benefit. Kaise? I will purposely sell from my SEZ business to my non-SEZ business at a higher price. My total profit will remain same, but more profit will be booked in SEZ for obvious reasons. Kya reason? Whatever profit comes in SEZ is eligible for tax reduction, but whatever profit comes in normal business, I have to pay tax. So to book less profit in that business. Do you understand? So there are many other conditions, but you don't have to study. You just need to know entry should be on the correct date, and second, you have to export. So, one, are we clear about what is section 10 AA? In fact, how it is different from section 10, correct? Second, are we clear about what is an exemption and what is a deduction and what is the difference? Third, are we clear about what is a special economic zone physically in India, but imagine that it is outside India? And after this, we can come back and learn the calculation of deduction. Deduction in SEZ will be calculated in two steps. In step number 1, we will calculate something called the qualifying amount for deduction. Step number 1 में we will calculate the qualifying amount. Words में qualifying amount for deduction is your profit in proportion of your export. Words में क्या बोला? Profit in proportion of export. If you want me to write it mathematically, profit into export turnover upon total turnover. Profit into export turnover upon total turnover. Is export mandatory for getting SEZ benefit? But can we also have some domestic sale? Okay, so take these numbers. Supposingly, we have export turnover of 8 crore. We have local, that is domestic turnover of 2 crore. So what is my total turnover? 10 crore. And when this with this 10 crore ka turnover, I have earned a profit of, net profit ratio is 10%. Reasonable. Then it can be anyway. Example. What is my total profit? 1 crore. Okay. Answer the following questions. In my PGBP का income, how much amount I will write? 1 crore. Am I eligible for some tax benefit? Yes. Still, first I will write 1 crore. In my gross total income, how much profit will come? 1 crore. Because this is not an exemption, it is a deduction. Now what to do? Take your profit in proportion of export. That's your qualifying amount. So how much profit is going to qualify for my deduction? 80 lakhs. Profit in proportion of export. Are you understanding this? And then finally we go to step number 2. And calculate the deduction. Where you are in the first slot of 5 years, your deduction will be 100% of your qualifying amount. That means in the example that we have done, how much will be your deduction? 80 lakhs. Example. But when you go to the second slot, as you progress further in your SEZ business, we will keep on reducing your tax benefit. In the second slot of 5 years, your tax benefit will be 50% of your qualifying amount. So if we take the same numbers as example for year 6 to 10, so the tax deduction is only going to be 40 lakhs. Obviously, every year it will not be the same numbers, but we are taking it as an example, same numbers. So year 1 to 5 mein, what is going to be your quantum of deduction? In percentage form, 100%. And year 6 to 10 mein, 50. But this 100 or 50 will apply on what amount? Not your total profit, on your qualifying amount. And what is qualifying amount? Profit in proportion of export. Supposingly, we don't have any domestic turnover. Full export. That means, can I say full profit will become qualifying amount? Then full profit ka 100 or 50 you can do. But if we have domestic turnover, it will be in proportion of export. And if we have to present these numbers, you know, while solving our question, so how will we present this? Let us say we have salary income 2 lakh. We have some business income. Now listen, can there be multiple businesses? I have normal business where my profit is 10 lakhs. And I also have SEZ business. In year 1 to 5, in our example, we were eligible for a tax benefit of 80 lakhs. And in year 6 to 10, in our example, we were eligible for tax benefit of 40 lakhs. So how much will we write here? To hell with the tax benefit right now. Here we will write full 1 crore. Sir, why full 1 crore? Because the profit earned is 1 crore. 1 crore hai na? Full amount will enter my income because SEZ is not an exemption, it is a deduction. After adding everything, this amount will become my gross total income, 112 lakh. And from this, we will take our deduction. Abhi bolo, what is your qualifying amount? Dekho, qualifying amount is the only amount which will not come anywhere in my sum, in my solution. That's a working load. What is my qualifying amount? 80 lakh. When I am in my first 5 years, what is the quantum of deduction? Percentage? 100. That means here I will take benefit of 80 lakh. And in the second slot of 5 years, qualifying amount will remain same, but deduction will be half. And this will give you your net taxable total. Do you understand? The presentation, matlab here we have to include the full profit and here we have to take deduction on this calculation. And now one more thing I would like to tell you, see if you understand, okay? Instantly give your facial reaction if you understand. The exam in which you are giving your attempt, उसमें year 1 to 5 का calculation cannot come on this. Year 1 to 5 का calculation cannot come once. Year 1 to 5 का calculation का last exam was January 26. क्यों? Last date to take entry after extension 30th September 2020. Which financial year? 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23-24 and 24-25, even if an organization has entered on the last possible date, first 5 years are over in 24-25 and your exam ka year is 25-26. So your exam ka question can be confined to only year 6 to 10. Samjha kya? Still step number 1 will not change. Now think about it. Irrespective of whether the first slot or second slot. In fact, even in the third slot, which you don't have to study, step number 1 is going to be same. What is step number 1? Qualifying amount. And what is words mein qualifying amount? Profit in proportion of export. Then we can of course decide that we have to take 100 or 50. In your exam, it is only going to be 50%. Ye clear hua? That's your exemption of exemption. My bad, sorry. That's your deduction of, come on, SEZ, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, your third chapter of your syllabus. Incomes not forming a part of total income, we call them exempt income. But along with exempt income, we also studied one section of deduction. Is that clear? Chalo. We will now be doing questions. Abhi aap bolo. You want to first do questions of which chapter? ये चैप्टर का, बिकॉज सी अपना जो ये चैप्टर है ना, रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस का क्वेश्चंस आर आल्सो पेंडिंग. Whatever you say, you all want one more day to go through residential status. A class come you will have to do, but okay, in our pre-result lectures we have already solved some of the questions of that chapter. Abhi which question is solved or not solved, that obviously you don't expect me to remember that. When I will in the next class come to questions of residential status, I will ask you, ye question ho gaya ke baki hai? Whichever question is not done, obviously we will have to solve it. If you want, I have got no problem, sir. Chodo na, let's do everything together. But provided you have revised and you are answering questions. Is that fine? So, फिलहाल के लिए, what do you want to do? Exempt income का questions. Exempt income का questions are on, exempt income का chapter is on what page? 20. I will be honest with you about one thing. एग्जेम्प्ट इनकम के चैप्टर में यू वोंट बी गेटिंग टू मेनी क्वेश्चंस. उसका रीजन क्या है पता है? एग्जेम्प्ट इनकम इज नॉट अ क्वेश्चन दैट यू एक्चुअली गो एंड सॉल्व. एग्जेम्प्ट इनकम के क्वेश्चन में व्हाट डू यू डू? दिस इनकम इज एग्जेम्प्ट अंडर सेक्शन 10 एंड देयरफॉर अमाउंट कॉलम में यू हैव टू राइट 0. एग्जेम्प्ट इनकम कैन कम एज एन एडजस्टमेंट इन अ बिग क्वेश्चन. They are asking you a big question of calculation of taxable income. In that, one of the incomes is exempt, so you take the other incomes but take this as 0. So exempt income के ऊपर we have very few questions. Whatever we have, we will finish it. First question, we have question number 20 on page number 25. Question 20, page 25. Bro, read the question loudly.
Mr. Manisha, resident in India, has the following incomes for the year ended 31st March 2020. Income from sale of PV and manufactured in India 4 lakhs. Income from growing and manufacturing rubber in India 5 lakhs. Income from agricultural operations in Sri Lanka, cultivated paddy 1 lakh. Income derived from sale of coffee, gold, cured, roasted and grinded in India 2 lakhs. Determine the quantum of income which is regarded as agricultural income and non-agricultural income in the hands of Mr. Manish for year section 26.7.
Is the required part of the question clear? What are they asking you to do? Segregate your income into agriculture income, which is going to be exempt income, and non-agricultural income, which is going to be taxable income. Do you understand? One by one. What is our first income? First income कौन सा है? Sale and how much is the profit given to you? 4. Correct है? It is about whether you remember the percentage of. सिर्फ इतना ही है. If you remember, you will always give the correct answer. 60-40 मतलब taxable 60%. So can I say 2,40,000 year and 1 lakh? 60,000 year. Correct है. Next,
income from
income and growing and manufacturing of rubber. Rubber का क्या है bro? 65% is agriculture and 35% is taxable. 5 lakh है तो 5 lakh का 65 35 will be 3 lakh 25. Correct है ना? And 1 lakh 75,000. Next, income from agricultural operations. Cultivated paddy मतलब rice का fully agriculture है. Full मतलब इसमें कोई टी कॉफी रबर कोई composite activity, it is not a composite, it is full agriculture, so fully exempt. Sri Lanka is outside India. Hello. Bhagwan, it happens every day. Yesterday it did not happen.
Happens with you.
Yesterday it did not happen, तो क्या it happens with you? कुछ भी बोलता हूँ. एक मिनट. And yesterday it happened with me in the evening class twice. हाँ. हेलो. हाँ. ओ सुनो, श्रीलंका is outside India. So income earned in Sri Lanka is going to be fully taxable. Sir, even if it is agriculture, is it going to be fully taxable? Because agriculture income is exempt only and only if it is earned in India. So what is that income? Okay. Hello. हाँ. What is that income earned in Sri Lanka? 1 lakh है. Fully taxable. Next, coffee. Cured, roasted, grinded. The moment any one of those words, roasted, grinded, flavors, any one of those words come, that means the quantum will be 60-40. So 1,20,000 and 80,000. Correct है? That will give you your final answer. क्या है? 6,15,000 and 585, is it? 685 and 515 है. ठीक है. Total is not a big deal. Are you clear about how to segregate composite income into taxable and non-taxable? चलो. Question number 21 होगा. Question number 21, that's on page number 29. 21, page number 29. हाँ please. चलो. थोड़ा आवाज पावर. कितना खाना खाया उसके बाद में पावर इतना. तूने नहीं खाया. तू सबसे ज्यादा तू ही खाता. तू पढ़ चल लाउडली. Question number 21, page number 29.
Mudra Limited has one unit at Special Economic Zone and the other at Domestic Tariff Area (DTA). The company provides the following details for the previous year 25-26.
See, please pay attention. A company can have two businesses. One of them is in Special Economic Zone, but the other business will be non-Special Economic Zone. In the non-Special Economic Zone, will all normal taxes apply? Because all the normal taxes are applicable, such an area is known as Domestic Tariff Area. मतलब non-SEZ का ही other name is Domestic Tariff Area. ये clear है? So what is the data given by them? They have given us total sales, export sales and net profits. But observe the columns carefully. They have given you total wala answer. Total wala amount is with respect to the entire company. And they have given you data of the Domestic Tariff Area, the non-SEZ. You know what? We are interested in the data of the SEZ. Do you understand that operations of SEZ plus operations of DTA is going to be the total? That means from the total, if I subtract DTA, I will get data of my SEZ. So what is total sales of the company? 6 crore. But उसमें से domestic tariff area is 2 crore. That means SEZ का sales will be 4 crore. Now carry on. Export sales. Total of the company 4 crore 60 lakhs. Out of that DTA का 1 crore 60 lakh. So this will be 3 crore. And what about the net profits? Full company का net profit is 80 and DTA का net profit is 20. So SEZ का profit will be 60 lakh. You understand how we have derived the data of special economic zone? Please continue reading the question.
Particulars total unit in DTA. Total sales 6
ये
crore.
हमने कर लिया, continue.
Compute the total income for the AY 26-27 in the following situation. If both the units were set up and start manufacturing from 22nd
May.
May 2017. If both the units were set up and start manufacturing from 14th May 2021.
Means they have given us two subparts of the question. Correct है? Okay. Question 21 का subpart 1. What is the date of setup? 22nd May 2017. Everyone is with me? Step number 1 is going to be qualifying amount. What is the qualifying amount? Profit into export turnover upon. Correct है? We are interested only in data of SEZ. What is SEZ का profit? 60 lakh. What is export of SEZ? 3 crore and total is 4 crore. Can I say this company is a 75% export oriented company? What is going to be the qualifying amount? 45 lakh. Bro, please understand, qualifying amount is not the deduction that you do. Deduction will be on the basis of which slot you are in. You started manufacturing in the year 17-18. So which are the first 5 years of your business? Come on. 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21, 22-23. That slot is over. Carry on. Second slot. 23-24, 24-25, 25-26. We are in the 8th year. And if we are in the 8th year, so step number 2 mein, when we calculate our deduction being in the 8th year, do you understand the deduction is going to be 50% of your qualifying amount, and that is 22 lakh 50,000. Correct again? If it was first 5 years, though 100%, but this is second 5 years, so 50%. Acha, by the way, how much profit will go in my PGBP ka computation in my total column? Full 80 lakhs, not even 60, because non-SEZ business ka profit also we have to write. Full 80 lakh will come in the total. From that 80 lakh, we will subtract only 22 lakh 50,000 on the basis of this calculation. Ye samjha? Second wala calculation, when the setup was done in 21. Chalo, step number 1, qualifying amount remains same. Wo karo. See, change will come in the 100% or 50% wala part. No, step number 1 is same. Karo. Why? Why ineligible? Set up after 30th September 2020. Hello, SEZ में entry का commencement का we have a last date. If you enter SEZ after this last date, you are disqualified for the deduction. Which is why towards the end of that section I told you that in your exam first 5 years ka slot can never come only. Q. Because it is gone now in 25-26, first 5 years are over from the last date to commence. Correct hai? Chalo. As far as question number 22 is concerned, question number 22, Vibha Gupta, suno. Acha, question carries forward to the next page. I am giving you a total of 3 minutes, 180 seconds. You have to solve it in your notebook right now without any communication with the person sitting next to you. Work with your pen, calculator and brain. Mouth shut, please. क्यों बुक नहीं है? क्यों नहीं है? Forgot. कर किधर बोल माइंड you can use that blank space in the textbook also to solve it. लिख दिया. ₹100 100 lakhs एग्जाम्पल में एटलीस्ट अमीर बनने का होता है. हाँ, question is similar but this time in fact it is easy because they have already given you data of special economic zone separately. Are they correct or no? So we will focus only on this data. First of all, in our income we will write full 270. So 270 कैसे है? Because this is also our profit. But when we come to our SEZ calculation, step number 1 is going to be qualifying amount. बोलो what into what upon what? Profit into export turnover upon total turnover. ये कितना है qualifying amount? 200. Now let's talk about the two individual situations. Situation 1, we are in our 8th year again, second slot, year 6 to 10. So here the deduction is going to be 50%. 100 lakhs. 200 lakh is qualifying amount. No, deduction will be 50%. And what about the second? Nil. Sir, why nil? Because ineligible. Setup was done after the allowed last date. Hello. Is that clear? You know, tell me if there is any difficulty. चलिए गिन लेते हैं. Which financial year we have set up? If it will depend on your answer is 17, 18 के 18, 19. ये 18, 19 है. ये 17, 18 है. अब काउंट कर लो. चलो let's do it together. 1, 2, 3 start. 17, 18. बोल तू भी. 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22. ये 5 years हो गया. 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. हाँ, 9th year है. आंसर में क्या लिखा है? हाँ, 9th year. एक बात बताओ, 8th year और 9th year calculation is going to remain same only. So we are in the, it is, you know what is more important? We are in the first slot or second slot. देख तू wrong होता ना, मैं बोलता देख तू wrong. But if I am wrong तो I'll say same ही होता. तो a target is we are in the first slot or second slot. Second slot में it is 50%. Calculation still remains correct. Everyone is clear? Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, with this, the questions that we have exempt income के ऊपर you can't have substantial questions. They will come as an adjustment in another big question of another chapter. वैसे exempt income year gets over. अभी आपको एक काम करना होगा. Okay. You will have to open questions of residential status chapter. 1 minute का time only है. सब book बंद कर करा के सब packing done ना. Break में 2 minutes late you came तभी चला ना. Residential status का question, first question is on what page? 9. What you will have to do for tomorrow, it is very very important for me. Someone in the class please volunteer. जितना जल्दी करोगे उतना early I'll leave you. That whichever question we have completed from this, just a tick or anything. Who is anyone who has got all the notes of the pre-result? अभी नहीं करना है, अभी नहीं. Please make sure tomorrow when we do this, you are clear in your mind which question is done, which question is not done. उतना cooperation can I expect from you? ठीक है, तो we will do and please make sure वो revision हो जाए. अच्छा, one more thing, one last thing. अगर आपको there is any difficulty in understanding things of residential status, scope of total income, so please make sure you come 15 minutes before class time tomorrow. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care.